Before this day begins, before a single word is spoken, before a single step is taken, there is a moment that can change everything. Most people will wake up today and rush straight into their worries. They will carry yesterday's stress into a brand new morning. They will let fear speak before faith even gets a chance. And by the time the day truly begins, their peace is already gone. But what if I told you, just a few minutes each morning could completely transform your life? What if the way you start your day could determine your strength, your mindset, your protection, and even your success? There is a hidden power in the early hours, a quiet moment that many ignore, but those who understand it live differently. They walk with confidence when others are anxious. They remain calm when others are overwhelmed. They stand strong when life tries to shake them. The difference is not luck, it is how they begin. Today, you are about to discover a powerful habit that can protect your mind, strengthen your spirit, and guide your entire day. This is not just about words. This is about connection, about faith, about unlocking a strength within you that you may not even realize you have. If you have ever felt overwhelmed, if you have ever faced fear, doubt, or uncertainty, then this message is for you. Stay with me till the very end, because what you are about to hear can reshape your mornings. And when your mornings change, your life begins to change. The way a person begins their morning has a deep and lasting influence on the rest of their day, and prayer becomes a powerful force that shapes not only thoughts but emotions, decisions, and actions. When someone chooses to start the day with prayer, they are intentionally setting their mind in a direction of peace, clarity, and strength, instead of confusion or stress. In those quiet early moments, before distractions take over, the mind is most receptive, and what is planted there begins to grow throughout the day. Prayer plants faith where fear could have taken root, and it replaces uncertainty with confidence that everything ahead can be handled with calmness and wisdom. Morning prayer also acts like a spiritual alignment, bringing the inner self into balance. Instead of waking up and immediately reacting to responsibilities, pressures, or problems, prayer allows a person to respond with intention. It creates a pause, a sacred space where thoughts can settle and priorities can become clear. This shift from reaction to intention is powerful because it prevents negative emotions from taking control early in the day. A peaceful beginning often leads to a more controlled and focused mindset, helping a person handle challenges without being overwhelmed. Another important aspect is how prayer influences emotional stability. Life often brings unexpected situations, but when the day begins with prayer, there is already a sense of grounding within. That grounding acts like an anchor, keeping the mind steady even when circumstances try to shake it. Instead of being easily disturbed by small problems, the person carries a quiet strength that allows them to remain calm and thoughtful. Prayer in the morning also strengthens belief and inner confidence. It reminds a person that they are not facing the day alone, and that sense of support builds courage. With that courage, tasks feel lighter, fears feel smaller, and even difficult situations seem manageable. Over time, this daily habit begins to transform the overall mindset, making positivity, patience, and resilience more natural. The power of starting the day with prayer is not just in the words spoken, but in the shift it creates within the heart and mind. It sets a tone of hope instead of worry, discipline instead of chaos, and faith instead of doubt, quietly shaping the entire direction of the day from the very first moment. Seeking divine protection at the start of the day is a powerful act of faith that shapes how a person moves through life's uncertainties. When someone begins their morning by asking for protection, they are not simply expressing fear of danger, but consciously placing their trust in a higher power that sees beyond what human eyes can perceive. Life is filled with seen and unseen challenges, unexpected problems, negative influences, emotional struggles, and situations that can disrupt peace. By seeking protection early in the day, a person prepares spiritually and mentally to face these challenges with strength and assurance. This act of prayer creates a sense of security that goes deeper than physical safety. It builds an invisible shield around the mind and heart, guarding against negativity, doubt, and harmful thoughts that may try to enter. Many struggles in life begin within the mind, and when protection is sought through prayer, it helps filter what is allowed to take root. Fear, anxiety, and confusion may still attempt to arise, but they do not gain control as easily, because there is already a foundation of faith established. This inner protection becomes a powerful defense, allowing a person to remain steady even when external circumstances are uncertain. Seeking protection also invites guidance. It is not only about being kept safe from harm, but also about being led in the right direction. Throughout the day, people make countless decisions, both small and significant, and prayer opens the door for clarity and wisdom in those moments. Instead of acting impulsively or being influenced by pressure, a person becomes more aware, more thoughtful, and more aligned with what is right. This guidance helps avoid unnecessary mistakes and leads toward better outcomes. There is also a deep emotional comfort that comes from knowing that one is protected. It removes the constant burden of worry and replaces it with peace. When a person believes that their steps are being watched over, they are able to move forward with confidence rather than hesitation. This confidence does not come from personal strength alone, but from the assurance that they are supported and cared for in every situation. Over time, consistently seeking divine protection builds a resilient spirit. It changes the way challenges are perceived, turning fear into faith and uncertainty into trust. The day no longer feels like something to be feared, but something to be embraced with courage and calmness, knowing that protection is already in place before the first step is taken. Renewal of mind and spirit each morning is one of the most powerful transformations a person can experience, because it allows them to step into a new day without being weighed down by the past. Every day carries its own challenges, but many people unknowingly carry yesterday's worries, failures, regrets, and emotional burdens into today, making it harder to move forward with clarity and peace. Morning prayer creates a moment of release, where those accumulated thoughts and feelings can be let go, making space for a fresh and focused mindset. When the mind is renewed, it no longer remains trapped in cycles of negative thinking. Instead of replaying mistakes or holding on to guilt, a person begins to shift their attention toward growth and possibility. This renewal is not about ignoring reality, but about choosing a healthier perspective. It allows the mind to reset, much like clearing a cluttered space, so that new ideas, hope, and confidence can take root. With a renewed mind, challenges are seen as opportunities to learn, rather than obstacles that create fear. At the same time, renewal of the spirit brings emotional and inner strength. Life can drain energy through stress, disappointments, and constant pressure, leaving a person feeling tired even before the day truly begins. Morning prayer becomes a source of restoration, filling that emptiness with calmness and quiet strength. It reconnects a person with a deeper sense of purpose and meaning, reminding them that each day holds value and possibility. This spiritual renewal gives the energy needed to face responsibilities without feeling overwhelmed. This process also improves emotional balance. When the spirit is refreshed, reactions become more controlled and thoughtful. Instead of responding with frustration or impatience, there is a greater sense of patience and understanding. Small problems no longer feel overwhelming, and there is a noticeable shift in how situations are handled. This balance creates a more peaceful and productive day. Over time, consistent renewal of mind and spirit leads to lasting change. It shapes habits, strengthens resilience, and builds a mindset that naturally leans toward positivity and faith. Each morning becomes an opportunity to start again, not as a continuation of past struggles, but as a new beginning filled with clarity, strength, and purpose. Faith over fear is a powerful shift that begins within the mind and gradually transforms the entire way a person experiences life. Fear often enters quietly, through uncertainty about the future, worry about outcomes, or doubt in one's own ability to handle situations. Left unchecked, it grows stronger, influencing decisions, limiting actions, and creating hesitation. When a person chooses faith, especially at the start of the day through prayer, they are making a conscious decision to replace those limiting thoughts with trust, courage, and inner assurance. Fear focuses on what might go wrong, while faith focuses on the possibility that things can work out for good. This shift in focus changes how the mind processes situations. Instead of imagining negative outcomes, the mind begins to expect positive direction and meaningful results. This does not mean challenges disappear, but it changes the emotional response to them. With faith, challenges are approached with calmness rather than panic, and with determination rather than avoidance. Morning prayer strengthens this mindset because it allows a person to declare trust before fear has a chance to take control. In those early moments, when the day has not yet unfolded, speaking words of faith builds a foundation that influences every thought and action that follows. When unexpected problems arise, the mind naturally returns to that foundation, making it easier to remain steady instead of becoming overwhelmed. Another important aspect of choosing faith over fear is how it builds confidence. Fear often creates a sense of isolation, making a person feel as though they must face everything alone. Faith, on the other hand, brings a sense of support and connection, reminding the individual that they are not carrying their burdens by themselves. This awareness reduces anxiety and increases the willingness to take action, even in uncertain situations. Emotionally, this shift brings peace. Fear tends to create tension, restlessness, and overthinking, while faith encourages calmness and clarity. A person who leans into faith is less likely to be controlled by temporary emotions and more likely to respond with patience and understanding. This emotional stability leads to better decisions and healthier interactions throughout the day. Over time, consistently choosing faith over fear reshapes the mindset. It becomes a natural response rather than a forced effort, allowing a person to move through life with greater courage, resilience, and trust even when facing the unknown. Gratitude as a foundation for the day has a quiet but profound impact on the way a person thinks, feels, and responds to life. When someone begins the morning with a sense of thankfulness, it immediately shifts the focus from what is lacking to what is already present. Many people wake up, and their first thoughts are about problems, responsibilities, or things that are not going right. And this creates a sense of pressure even before the day begins. Gratitude interrupts that pattern by gently redirecting the mind toward appreciation, allowing the day to start from a place of contentment rather than stress. This shift in focus changes the emotional tone of the day. Instead of feeling overwhelmed, a person begins with a sense of calm and positivity. Even small acknowledgments, such as being thankful for life, health, opportunities, or the chance to start again, create a ripple effect within the mind. These thoughts build a stable emotional base that makes it easier to handle challenges without losing balance. When the heart is grounded in gratitude, negative emotions like frustration, jealousy, or dissatisfaction have less space to grow. Gratitude also strengthens perspective. Life often presents difficulties, but when a person regularly practices thankfulness, they begin to see situations more clearly. Problems are no longer viewed as purely negative, but as part of a larger journey that includes growth and learning. This perspective reduces the tendency to complain or feel defeated, and instead encourages patience and acceptance. It allows a person to move forward with a sense of purpose rather than resistance. Another important effect of gratitude is how it influences relationships and interactions. A thankful mindset naturally leads to kindness, humility, and understanding. When a person appreciates what they have, they are more likely to treat others with respect and positivity. This creates better connections and a more supportive environment throughout the day. It also reduces comparison with others, which is often a source of unnecessary stress and insecurity. Over time, making gratitude a daily habit reshapes the inner world of a person. It trains the mind to look for good even in difficult situations, and builds a sense of inner peace that is not easily shaken by external circumstances. Starting the day with gratitude becomes more than just a routine. It becomes a way of living that supports emotional strength, mental clarity, and a deeper sense of fulfillment. Consistency in prayer life is what turns a simple daily practice into a powerful force of transformation. While a single moment of prayer can bring peace or clarity, it is the repeated, intentional act of showing up every day that creates lasting change within a person. Consistency builds discipline, and discipline shapes identity. When prayer becomes a regular part of the morning routine, it is no longer something done occasionally in times of need, but a steady foundation that supports every aspect of life. At first, maintaining consistency may feel challenging, especially with busy schedules, distractions, or lack of motivation. However, the true strength of consistency lies in commitment rather than convenience. Choosing to pray daily, regardless of mood or circumstance, trains the mind to prioritize what truly matters. It develops a sense of responsibility toward one's spiritual and mental well-being, creating a stable anchor that remains firm even when life becomes unpredictable. Over time, consistent prayer begins to influence thought patterns and behavior in subtle but powerful ways. The mind becomes more focused, reactions become more controlled, and there is a noticeable increase in patience and understanding. This happens because repetition reinforces the connection between thought and intention. Each day of prayer adds another layer of strength, gradually building a mindset that is more resilient and grounded. Consistency also deepens faith and trust. When a person engages in prayer regularly, they begin to notice patterns, moments of guidance, clarity, or unexpected solutions that seem to come at the right time. These experiences strengthen belief, making it easier to rely on faith rather than doubt. Instead of questioning whether prayer has an impact, the person begins to see its effects reflected in daily life, which encourages them to continue the practice with greater confidence. Another important aspect is how consistency creates a sense of stability. Life often brings change and uncertainty, but a fixed routine like morning prayer provides a reliable starting point each day. This stability reduces anxiety and creates a feeling of control, not over external events, but over one's inner state. It becomes a space where a person can reset, refocus, and prepare for whatever lies ahead. As days turn into weeks and weeks into months, consistent prayer shapes character. It becomes a natural part of who a person is, influencing decisions, strengthening values, and guiding actions without conscious effort. What once required discipline eventually becomes effortless, creating a life that is more centered, purposeful, and aligned with inner peace. As we come to the end of this message, remember that every morning is a new beginning placed in your hands. It is not just another day to pass through, but a powerful opportunity to realign your thoughts, renew your spirit, and walk forward with strength and purpose. When you choose to begin your day with prayer, you are not just following a routine, you are building a life of peace, protection, faith, gratitude, and consistency. Each prayer you speak becomes a seed, and over time, those seeds grow into a life filled with clarity, courage, and unshakable confidence. No matter what challenges may come, a prayerful start gives you the strength to face them, the wisdom to overcome them, and the calmness to rise above them. So step into each morning with intention. Guard those first moments, speak life into your day, and carry that divine connection with you wherever you go. Your life will not change overnight, but with every consistent prayer, you are moving closer to a stronger, brighter, and more meaningful future. Good luck on your journey ahead. May each morning fill you with peace, may your path be guided with wisdom, and may your heart always remain strong and fearless. Thank you for taking the time to listen, and may your days be blessed with growth, purpose, and endless strength.